Good morning. My name is Joe Kellner. I'm a partner here at Dignity Law Group, and we specialize in landlord-tenant rights. We represent both landlords and tenants, and I'm bringing this information of the latest COVID-19 and pandemic to video regarding tenants' rights. So we just recently put out a podcast called Call My Attorney, Episode 1. We will provide information below in the link underneath whatever the stuff is. I'm not the technology guy. But anyways, focusing on what happened last night, I don't know who caught the news, but Mayor Eric Garcetti was talking, and he mentioned that there's essentially going to be a process for those who are affected by COVID-19 non-payment of rent, evictions, for paying your rent back. And that is 12 months. That there'll be 12 months to pay your rent back once the moratorium over the COVID-19 evictions ends. So that's interesting because right now we don't know when it's going to end, we don't know what's going on, and we know that you can't be evicted because of COVID-19. But there are rules. First of all, you have to tell your landlord in writing within 7 days. If you don't tell your landlord if you don't tell your landlord in writing within 7 days, you may not get the protection of COVID-19 as an affirmative defense for non-payment of rent evictions. It goes one step further, though. There's a moratorium on 60-day notice no-cause evictions. And that's a separate conversation, but what that means is you cannot get a 60-day notice to terminate your tenancy and then actually be removed. It's not how it's going to work right now. Instead, when the moratorium is lifted, you will then have to go ahead and deal with the 60-day notice as long as that's legal and proper. So right now, the first is just around the corner, and people are very concerned as to what's going on. Landlords are calling, what do I do? Tenants are calling, what do I do? And I'm going to tell you, if you've gotten this far in the video, what we're telling everybody. And that is, if you're a landlord and you don't get your rent, you can serve a 3-day notice. That's right. To the tenants out there watching this, you can get a 3-day notice. So what? Now what? Well, what's the reason for the notice? Let's say in this case it's non-payment of rent. 3-day notice for non-payment of rent. Do you have a COVID-19 reason? Did you tell your landlord within 7 days of the first, which is tomorrow, that you would go ahead and not be able to pay your rent because of COVID-19 and explain why or provide some evidence or proof? Did you try to work out a payment plan? Have you been communicating with your landlord? If you've just said nothing and you don't pay and the eviction comes, you may not get the protections in court. Now, there are some circumstances right now which have caused delays in getting to court because of moratoriums and the time frame and the scaling down of the court system. But you're not going to live for free during COVID-19. There is not a moratorium or a rent waiver. It is simply a moratorium or a hold on evictions. Now, assuming that you have contacted your landlord and told them what happened, if they proceed to file an eviction lawsuit against you, you can defend it by filing an answer, but you're not going to go to court until the moratorium is over. Moratorium ends, you go to court. You prove your COVID-19 hardship, you have 12 months to repay your rent. They're not clear what's going to happen after that. And for commercial businesses, which we'll talk about separately in another video, Mayor Eric Garcetti said 90 days. So with that, I think there's a lot that's going to happen on the first. We're encouraging our clients to pay the rent if you're a tenant. We're encouraging the landlords to work with all the clients, because don't forget, the landlord is trying to pay for whatever business or people they use or companies or jobs, etc. It's a giant working economy. So people need to be honest, be flexible, work with each other, and stay safe during this time. For any questions, give us a call, 818-901-8600 or 323-212-5365. We'd be happy to answer any questions right now. We are happy to make sure that our customers know what's going on. And lastly, if you want to send us any information or questions, you want us to talk about a specific content in a video, send an email to info@dignitylawgroup.com.